Hello there, welcome back to Zero Production Value Movie Reviews. I'm Eric Hoernke, and today I'm going to be discussing the 2015 action comedy American Ultra, directed by Nima Nourizadeh. So again, that's a little bit of an odd name, hope I got it right, Nima Nourizadeh, I think. Now this guy Nourizadeh only has 2 feature directing credits to his name, which I found kind of surprising because he doesn't seem like he seems like a pretty capable director. He did, and I think both of his films actually, I think, not really like undiscovered gems or like, diamonds in the rough, but more like, just like pleasant surprises. Not really kind of that, gem level, but kind of pleasant surprises, I would say. The first film he directed was 2012's Project X, which I thought was actually a very good movie. I don't know how many people saw that, but I think it kind of it was a high school party comedy, and I think a lot of people just sort of dismissed it as, like a mindless high school party comedy, and I think it actually had a lot more going on. I thought it was actually a pretty darn good film. And then now he has directed, at least back in 2015, American Ultra, which, quick premise, is like, what if a stoner kind of slacker was really a CIA badass? Yeah, kind of a silly premise, but if you just kind of go with it, it's not. You just kind of go with it, and it's not so ridiculous sounding, I guess. It's like I said, it's a bit silly though, and this isn't like a stellar movie. It's not winning any awards, but I think it's a fun, quirky, R-rated action comedy. That you just want to kick back and maybe watch on a day where you just, you don't want to put too much thought into a movie, and but you don't want it to be stupid either. So I think this kind of fits the bill. It's got a decent cast. Jesse Eisenberg stars in the lead role as Mike Howell, the slacker du jour, stoner slacker du jour, as it were. Kristen Stewart plays his longtime girlfriend Phoebe. Basically, they're both stoners. They don't amount to much. They're just kind of, he works at a convenience store, and they just kind of lead their humble existence, making enough money to smoke some pot and kind of just live in each other's little world and do their little thing. Nothing too crazy. Now, Mike wants more than anything to take his girlfriend, Phoebe, who he thinks is way better than him, the best thing that ever happened to him. He's probably right. He wants to take her to Hawaii and propose to her. But every time he tries to leave town, he gets this crippling anxiety and can't do it, so they're just sort of stuck there. Meanwhile, you see that there's these CIA operatives who are doing some shady stuff, and as we learn, you get this Connie Britton character and this Topher Grace character, and they're at odds. They do not like each other. So it's revealed that Mike is, in fact, this CIA asset that can be activated by given a series of code words, and when he becomes activated, he becomes, a CIA badass capable of doing missions, a la Jason Bourne or Ethan Hunt or something along those lines, right? Apparently the project didn't go well. It just sort of sputtered, and it sort of lost its way, and they just sort of left these assets, I guess, out, doing nothing. But Connie Britton always sort of had a soft spot for this Mike guy that she left out there. And Topher Grace has sort of entered the picture and kind of wants to resurrect this program with his own goon squad. And as part of that, he wants to eliminate Mike, I think as part of a slap in the face to his competitor and rival, the Connie Britton character. So secretly, Connie Britton gets wind of this. She journeys to West Virginia and activates Mike through the series of code words, and he's kind of like, we get this wonderful delayed reaction. He's like, what? And so she thinks she failed. She leaves kind of dejected, and then it really isn't until he's put in a stressful situation that we find out, obviously, it turns on, and he's able to become this Jason Bourne, John Wick sort of badass. It sort of turns on and off. It sort of sputters. So he turns on and he's kind of like, oh, what did I do? But it's, you know, it's pretty good. So then he spends basically the balance of the movie trying to run from these goons, you know, save his own life, save his girlfriend's life, and trying to figure out WTF is going on with his life in this instance. And yeah, it has a few twisty turnies, but nothing too crazy. Like I said, it's a bit of a silly premise, but it has some nice stylized action that works within the context of the film. It's got an R rating, so it, you know, they can cuss a bit and they can punch up the action a bit. They can splatter a bit. Blood can fly a little bit, but not like a huge gore factor or anything. Eisenberg and Stewart have some pretty good chemistry together. You know, I buy them as a couple. I like Eisenberg in the lead role, kind of in that it's sort of like a Michael Cera, but he's like sort of a better version of Michael Cera, and when you're kind of sick of Michael Cera and you don't want to see him anymore, and he's more of a serious actor with a bit better range and can do a bit more things, so works well in the lead role. Good supporting role, including guys such as Tony Hale, Walton Goggins, Bill Pullman shows up, also, you know, so a good supporting cast there. Like I said, this isn't jaw-dropping good. It's not going to win any awards. It's not going to be the best movie of the year. It's not going on top 10 lists. But for a movie that I've been kind of wanting to watch for a long time, and I finally got a chance to sit down and watch it because I remember the trailers being intriguing enough that it kind of was always in the back of my brain. You know, I had a decent, entertaining time watching this for what it was. So definitely a bit of an under-the-radar movie that maybe not a lot of you have heard of. But if any of this sounds intriguing or interesting, then probably worth a look-see, and you'll probably have, you know, a nice afternoon or a nice evening with this film. So, for all that, I am going to give American Ultra, directed by Nima Nourizadeh, a B-. I love you. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching my movie review. I enjoyed making it. As always, I am Eric Hoernke. That rhymes with turnkey. Like, subscribe, leave some comments. You know, I can always use more subscribers. Tell your friends. And as always, this has been a production of Zero Value. Thanks for watching.